Okay, so we're going to talk about what you guys need to be looking for so that you can find the best opportunities on Amazon. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that you should look for and then, some requirements later after. So, what you need to be looking for is volume. So, there needs to be dollar bills being spent and there needs to be a good amount of sales. So, we'll get more in depth onto those later. But basically, there needs to be enough people looking for something to buy it. If nobody is looking for something, then how are they going to buy it? We already talked about earlier that Amazon is the search engine for products, but we've also talked about that they go to find products that they're looking for. They have an idea of what they want in their head, they put it into words, and then they see what there is. But you can't put the words into their heads, okay? So that brings me to the point for Amazon and what we're looking for. We're not looking to make brand new inventions. We're looking for where people are searching, and then we're looking to find improvements that we can make and fulfill the needs that aren't being fulfilled for the consumers. So the best example that I had for this was the solar eclipse goggles. With these goggles, basically people were looking for eclipse glasses. They needed a way to look at the sun and have a good once in a lifetime experience. And I was able to then look at that and read the reviews and saw that people weren't having all their needs fulfilled. There was a lot of light that would get put in and children couldn't see it the best, and people wanted a more premium quality product. And I was able to make that by making the goggles that did offer that premium quality that people were looking for. So that brings me into how I was able to make that invention, or the slight improvements that people wanted. And it all comes down to this analysis framework that I think that everybody should understand, because this will decide if products are going to make it or not make it. Basically, it comes down to consumers' needs or the customer's needs, okay? So there's a couple general ones, and you want to get an array of these, or you want to get a couple of them. You don't need all of these, but you want to have some way to differentiate from the other people, because if you're just doing what other people are doing, then it comes down to price and the number of reviews. And when you compete on price, you don't want to play that game. So here's the games that we do want to play for. And that's by finding ways to fulfill customer needs that aren't being filled yet. So there are general customer needs. These are what people use every time that they go to buy. They're not actually using them like in a checklist and going and filling out like, yes, it meets this. No, they're going and they're psychologically thinking about these. When somebody goes to buy, this might be the only important one. Like, you forgot a wedding gift and it's like, what is there? What are my options? All right. So that's one where you could essentially go and add value by having Amazon Prime and deliver in 2 days or even overnight, versus if all the other people in that market were 5 to 7 days because they were shipping it themselves. So that's one thing that we can look out for, is just offering fulfilled by Amazon when it doesn't currently exist. And this also comes into so basically the meta concept of that is that it's about time and convenience and efficiency. So there's that with obviously the delivery speed, but we could also be offering that in their daily life. So is there a way that we could somehow make this product more convenient or efficient for whatever their need is? So what are their needs though? That is utility. So there is two needs actually. There's self-expression and there's utility, and I'm going to explain what those mean now. So essentially, if you're looking for utility, you need to achieve something or improve your life. Like, if I'm in the headphone market, I'm obviously looking for something that is functional. So I'm not looking for a self-expression one. I'm not looking for some like ones for a photo shoot or to make me look beautiful. There are some people that only care about the design of them, but a majority of the people are looking for utility. So I would kind of just like, we'll just analyze the different needs and why there's so many products in the headphone market. There's functionality. So Bluetooth, they fold. Okay, so that is great. And what these end up doing is they improve the consumer experience. Okay, so when you improve experience, basically you're just going to get a happier customer. They're going to feel like a G when they put them on. He would feel even better if he was wearing ones without a cord, because I love that they're Bluetooth and it makes working out a lot easier. Another factor of utility is going to be reliability. So I know and will pay a lot more for these Bose headphones because they're reliable. They will last for years and they don't break because they're foldable. So like we're saying, it's not like these functionalities none of them are independent. They all kind of intertwine with each other and are all important, and they affect one another. So basically, the customers all have wants and ideas in their heads on each one of these aspects, And our goal is looking at the market and seeing where are their needs not fulfilled, and these are them. So another one is performance, okay? Battery life on these. Now, I like these because they last for 10 to 20 hours and they automatically turn off. So I barely have to charge these. So the performance and reliability of the battery is really great. Now what we also have is performance could be how good is the base, how high are the highs, and just that, and those overall affect the experience right there. Now compatibility, this is kind of a hit or miss. Is it compatible with what you need? For example, if these were only compatible with iOS, I'm not going to buy because guess what? I'm an Android guy. So I guess the question is we're kind of like, what are we looking for? We can see through product reviews or just blog posts on the internet, people complaining, saying, I wish that there was this functionality. I wish there was more, whatever. So essentially, we're kind of keeping our eye out for what are the utility parts where people aren't necessarily happy. Then there's also self-expression. And this is where I suggest that the beginners go. And I'm going to tell you why. Why? Because with functionality, there's only maybe 4 things of functionality that people care about. Some of these are apparent in a market and some aren't. And oftentimes there's only a couple options. But with self-expression, that's endless. Okay? Now, I, for example, like the alpaca swim shorts, but you might like the gorillas, and that's okay. But what makes this great is when there's 7 choices right here, there's no best answer for anybody. Everybody ends up choosing a different choice. And because of that, you could be right down there, the number 6 gorilla swim shorts, because of course number 1 is the alpacas, the best. But people will continue to choose the gorilla ones. So I'll give you now a real life example so that you can make this a little bit more concrete in your head. Here's an example where self-expression and design is more important than functionality. So if we were to look up wedding gifts here, and I could show you quick, there's quite a bit of revenue coming through wedding gifts. All right, so if we take a look at wedding gifts, it's taken a while to load because the internet is just speed of a dinosaur here in Germany. There's examples, look at this. This is doing $76,000 of revenue of a bamboo cheese board. All right, but if we take a look at, then there's obviously quite a bit of revenue on all the other choices. But if we take a look at these, they're all different. And why? Because design and self-expression is the answer in this market. It's not necessarily about functionality, it's that self-expression. So you're giving a gift to somebody for their wedding, and the choice is different for everyone. Like, I'm never going to buy this glass right there because I'm not going to give my friends a glass for alcohol. And I just miss right. No, it's just, that's not cool. Not cool to me. Maybe it's cool to you. That's okay. Or this, people who love kitchen stuff, or people who love wine and cheese, but I'm not really that passionate about alcohol. So where's the one for me? Where's the muskrats? Where's the alpacas? All right, there's your opportunity. Go build alpaca wedding gifts. Just kidding. But I mean, look, we're still, here, this one is good, except I don't have a beard. Anyways, as we're seeing this, they're all different. So you could come in and make a different, Legos. You could come in and make a different product and have an opportunity. So with that, self-expression was important. Design was more important than functionality. And obviously, it just had to meet the bare minimum of utility. But the most important part was that self-expression. Now, if we go and I'll just show you guys quickly where a market where utility is the only thing that's really important, and why you probably don't want to go after one of those where there's not many options to differentiate on utility. So if we take a look at the famous pet gloves, which most people who are beginning, they always think this is a great market. I'm looking at this and I look at my framework here, functionality, okay? Let's take a look at functionality. What is the function that people want? They want to get that fur off their hairy animal, okay? It looks like they're all about the same. So I have no way to really differentiate between these based off of functionality alone. Now, if we take a look at experience, I don't know if any of these really have a different experience for me getting that fur off my animals. Another option could be reliability, but they all look just about the same reliability. Maybe these look a little bit more reliable because the image, it looks like they're a little bit spikier, and that they are just the plastic's built in a little bit more, but that's about it. And I guess you could also make the argument that they'll have a better performance because they've got those high quality spikes. But and then compatible, I guess, like what's the difference? Compatibility. Maybe there's one that's more compatible with alpacas or cats or something. But as we look here, you could try to say, oh, this is the best one for cats, but it looks the same as the other ones. So this is why essentially the market has decided they want to just get the fur off their animal. And that's it. All right. They're not looking to go to a fashion show or a party with and take the fur off their animals. They're just looking to get the deed done at home. So the summary is we want to look for places where we can add that value by looking at all of the things. And there's just not much value to add here other than maybe an image with a different cat or animal, but that doesn't do anything. So now that you guys have this general framework of what to look for, we're going to just gather as many ideas as possible, and I'll show you guys ways to actually go and find new ideas in case you run out of the ones in your head. And so we'll go on to that now.